Hello everyone, welcome to Corvo Bianco. I'm Amelia Korzycka, I'm an expert community and social media manager, and I have amazing guests today with me. So before we dive into what's gonna happen today, let me introduce everyone. So I have Laura Beisel with me, senior community and social media manager.
Hello.
We have Kacper Niepokólczycki, environment art director.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Straight from Boston.
Straight from Boston, actually, literally straight from Boston.
And we have Magdalena Zych, a senior writer coordinator.
Yes, and I'm straight from right behind the closet.
Okay. We're gonna play the Blood and Wine today, and we have amazing Sebastian Sheika, our lead, playing the game live. So, you know, if you have anything that crazy he could do, please drop them in the chat, because we have our community managers, our moderators, checking the chat, you know, making notes, sending them our way. So if there is something crazy, you know, something might happen. But yes, we're here today to celebrate Blood and Wine. As you can see, we have festive table. We have some wine.
Sweet treats.
Sweet
Wine, we
treats.
have cakes, we have fruits, we have more cakes.
More
I'm
cakes.
looking at those cakes, very, very hungry here.
And you know, we are in a house of Geralt. We have his armor, you know, Roach is somewhere here as well, so, you know,
And the swords.
crazy things might happen.
This is true. And as Amelia said, we are live, so should you have anything that you want to ask us, now's the time to drop it into chat. We won't be able to get through everything, of course, but we'll do as best we can to get through as many questions as possible. And just before we actually dive in, we wanted to take a second to just say a really heartfelt thank you to everyone after the announcement of Songs of the Past yesterday. We have been inundated in the best way possible with questions and a lot of really lovely messages from everybody. We just wanted to say we love you, we appreciate you immensely. And on that note as well, we just want to mention that today we will not be showing you anything new for Songs of the Past. We're here to celebrate a decade of Blood and Wine.
And on that note, for everyone who's actually watching this stream live or afterwards, we do have a really small surprise in form of a contest that you will be able to win 3 of these freshly cooked from our friends at Displayed.
They're amazing.
So
I want one.
Yeah, actually gonna steal one right now.
we can make it work. So yes, please drop in the comment section on YouTube during the stream, after the stream, your favorite memory from Blood and Wine, and the jury will pick 3 of you, and we'll send it your way. So we're waiting. We want to hear your stories. We want to see your memories. So, you know.
No pressure here.
Yeah, no
Let's
pressure.
go. So yeah, on that note, guys, 10 years.
I want to start with saying I think there's a mistake somewhere here. There's no way it was 10 years already. I mean, it's crazy to think about that. It's really crazy to think that 10 years has passed. Because I have such a fond memories about working on this game, and you know how much love and passion went to this. And yes, I'm still amazed that we are celebrating this 10 years. But also for me, what's very important is the fact that you know, The Witcher still brings so many emotions, so much love, and so much care into our fans and our community. It just shows that, you know, Geralt is a very iconic, I would say, pop culture character in our world, and it's just amazing to think that, you know, we're part of that. It's just crazy. And yes, 10 years. I think they're lying to us. I think there's something
They
wrong
are,
there.
yes. I mean, for me, it's very funny because if you asked me this some years ago when I was elbows deep in cyberpunk, like living the lives of V and Johnny and Judy, then I would say, yeah, of course it was 10 years, it was 20 years ago. It was like, it never happened. But now when I'm back working on The Witcher, actually, then it's like you said, it was just a week ago when it was released, because it's so, like, came back and it's so fresh.
If
in my
you're watching
memory.
this right now, all the memories, Toussaint, Beauclair,
Beautiful.
crazy.
Speaking of Toussaint, it's very, very different from what we had in the base game. So, like, let's say Skellige and then, you know, Hearts of Stone. How did you guys came up with this idea? Like, was it difficult to design completely new version of the Witcher world?
I mean, I think first came the idea of having vampires there, and then we thought, where could we put this story of vampires that would make the most sense, kind of, that would be the most interesting? Because, you know, if you think of vampires, you automatically think of gothic, dark, you know, everything broody and just in nighttime. So we decided, okay, so let's take this beautiful land that was described in the books of Toussaint and let's put the story there. So we wanted to, you know, just play with this juxtaposition of this funny contrast.
I was about to exactly say this, and it's great that you use this word, it's a contrast. And of course, I wasn't part of making the decision to be part, this game will take part in Toussaint, but I think it worked phenomenal. If you remember the first trailer we dropped, it was the story about, you know, a character narrative person is narrating through how great Toussaint is. You know, everyone had fun, they feast, they party, they drink a lot of wine, they make wine. It's all those great things you think about this. And I love this trailer because at the end, there's a question, so why Geralt is here? Why we invite here the Monster Slayer, right? Why he's here if it's all goes so well? And then there's a switch to it. You see, you know, Detlef, you see Regis there, and you're like, it's very dark. It completely changed the tone, the trailer completely changed the tone. And I think to your point, Maj, I think it's exactly that. Look in this world, it's a fantasy picture-esque world that nothing can go wrong, yet everything goes wrong, right? And I think that brings that contrast. And I think, going back, Maja, to your question, of course, you know, the whole Toussaint, it was incredible amount of hard work for the whole team. And of course, great shout out to Lucian Diencek. He was art directing the whole expansion pack when it comes to environments. And I always remember when he said one thing to us. You have to work and build this world in a way that if a painter would sit anywhere, it would look like a picturesque vista to sit down and just paint it. And I think that stuck so much of in our heads because we tried to make those vistas and those open opportunities, like even, you know, the palace here, the whole Bouclair, it's very much, I would like to think that we did a great job here, the team did a great job, but it's a very picturesque world. And you know, the sun, the colors, like the whole color palette being completely different. It was this completely shift in what we tried to do, and especially because, as I said before, the Velen, Novigrad, they're like completely sad, dark, and not that pleasant, let's say, places to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess on that, obviously the color palette, as you said, is so different. What was sort of the things that you were thinking about trying to create this almost like fairy tale?
That's exactly what it was.
Like, were there inspirations that you were drawing from, or like locations that you think of that made you think this is the color palette we want to go for?
So definitely the world itself was heavily, or heaviest, inspired by Tuscany, South Italy, Provence, which is the France, and it's not the wineries, a lot of those nice, hot, very pretty places. I think the color palette, again, this was a lot of that, trying to find the contrast, but also trying to find this balance between how far we can push the colors to make them look like they're fantasy, yet they still land the Witcher-ish flavor. And I remember those conversations were like really having, are we too far, or is it not enough? Like, let's push it further. And Lucian was like, you know, going crazy, but I think that's exactly what it is. It's trying to find that sweet spot. And it's really hard to say where it's done. It's like you have to feel it. But yeah, it was a very fun process for sure.
And it also has to be difficult from like the writing perspective, right? Because you have to match the colors in the story as well. So it's not just, you know, we're gonna put vibrant red and yellow and green everywhere. It's just like the story also have to be, you know, the nights and all that, right, of Toussaint. So
yeah, but it's on the surface. Like you think that in such a beautiful land, the people would just be happy, a bit drunk all the time, but generally just so happy to be there and peaceful because this land is far away from the war. It was never like, nothing bad happens there on the surface. That's what you think. But actually, when you dig deeper in the story, it turns out that actually there's a lot of bad stuff going on underneath and everything is rotten and just falling apart, like Geralt's villa in the beginning.
Do you have something that you were sort of the most proud of in the creation of this space for players?
You want to start? I would like to say again, I think, it is a huge collaboration across all the teams. And I think, first of all, the fact that this expansion pack, because I think it's a big difference, the whole story was built pretty quickly. It took us a bit over a year. And the fact that the team worked so well and the vision was there, I think it was I'm a very proud part of that, because it just made the whole process to be much more fun process, because you knew what you want to do. And when it comes to banking the world, so it was funny because the fact about Blood and Wine is, for me, it's a very important part of my career here, because at that time I was starting my first step as a manager to work with the team, and my responsibility at most was to work on the City of Bucla. And I'm proud of that. So I'm going to be very honest. I think like we did, I know it maybe sounds a bit, not humble enough, but I'm proud of that. I think the team did a great job.
Today we can, we can't be not humble.
It's a celebration.
It's a celebration.
Of course. let's go with this. So I'm absolutely proud of this, and it's a big, massive world. It's as big as Velan, I believe, and Novigrad. The map is huge. So the team already made a great job. And also what I do like, and I can talk openly about this right now, is that what I said before about the team being so passionate. We put a lot of things under the radar. Like we put wineries. I remember at some point I was asked to not work on catacombs. Under Bucla we have catacombs. And I was like one day away from people saying, like production saying like, no, there's no time. I was like, okay. And I put the catacombs in there like this one evening, and people would like that so much. We have quests right now there. And I cannot imagine not having those in Bucla anymore.
Yeah.
Or we put wineries that no one knew about. I just had like small agreement with people that can help me to build those, like community people in a lining team, and we collaborate under the radar to put them. And I remember at some point there was an article, I don't remember what magazine was that, but they had like 5 top wineries in Blood and Wine, and the one that we did was second. I was so proud. About
Nice.
But it was this passion of like, let's go, let's do something crazy,
Yeah.
and it was nothing could stop us.
Yeah,
That's the proudest part.
I have a funny story connected to that, because going back to your question, I'm really proud. It was like a win for the story team, because, us writers, we always struggle with reality when it comes to game development, and producers telling us that certain things cannot be done. Because if you have a piece of paper and just your imagination, everything is possible.
Absolutely.
So we came up with the idea for one of the quests that there would be a druid forest, like a special place. And then, yeah, exactly. So you know what I'm talking about. And then level design tells us, okay, guys, but you have this huge map already. Do you really need another forest? And we said, yeah, actually we do. But then we negotiated a bit, and what came out of this was the fairy tale land in the quest Beyond Hill and Dale, I think it's called. And it's like a unique place that is actually even more fairy tale-like, because it's like actual characters from fairy tales are inhabiting it. So it was like, it was done because we couldn't have the forest. So I think in the end, it's a win. Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's a win, I think.
Absolutely.
And speaking of the name, Blood and Wine wasn't the original
No,
name.
it was not.
What was the original name, guys?
So back in the day when we were cooking this early days, we called it Bob.
Yes.
It's Bob.
Bob. Was Bob. And Bob came up from Bells of Bucla. That was the original title that we were using as our internal title before we changed it to Blood and Wine. But we always go like, working on Bob. Let's work on Bob. Cool. Bob is this. Bob is that. So it was very fun.
I wish we could keep it.
Witcher 3.
Bob.
White Hunt.
We kind of did, because if you look in the engine, still, when you have the list of files, it's still this expansion is under Bob. Yeah, it's Bob.
Okay.
Nice little Easter eggs for people.
An Easter egg. Speaking of Easter eggs, what's your favorite?
Are you going first?
Yeah, I do have a favorite. I don't know if it's exactly an Easter egg, but I'm going to say it anyway, because it's actually a whole quest, but it's hidden on the map. you don't get this job the normal way, like there isn't an NPC waving at you saying, hey, I'm here, I need your help. Or you can't get this from a notice board. It's the quest with the talking roach. I'm proud of it because I wrote it. So yeah, so I really like it. And
Awesome.
this is, again, it's a very funny story, like on the surface. But if you think about it, there are very dark themes in it, like cruelty towards animals or a person's disenchantment with society because we have this woman there living a secluded life because she was so hurt in the past. And also we have Geralt who is talking to his horse, but he's not really talking to the horse because we don't have talking animals in this world. It's like he's hallucinating. And I think what he's going through there really, again, it's funny, of course, but it also tells you something about his psyche, his maybe insecurities, because he is imagining what people might think, looking at him, like talking to himself constantly, muttering, oh, there's a flower there, it means that it was a brook, like he always does. So in this quest, he's talking to his horse, but probably you might think that there's something deeper there. So yeah, I really like this one.
I think that's one of the sort of best things about what you guys do is tackling like really human issues, I guess, in really interesting ways that can get dark, but also keep people entertained and also going, oh, I'm high right now.
True.
It's a real art to it. And I guess I want to just throw to chat here because we have a couple of questions for you guys that are sort of specific to what you do. And so I wanted to ask Magda, was it difficult for you and the team to branch out from the main storyline for the expansion? And then do you kind of feel like that branching out was maybe possible for, like, this is the moment where mistakes can happen if you're not careful, and how do you make it work? How do you bring it all together?
It's always difficult because you have to remember that some players may have not finished The Witcher 3 before they start Blood and Wine. So you're writing a dialogue happily and you want Geralt or some other NPC to say something about the ending, for example, how it ended with Ciri or whatever, and then you think, oh wait, but some players may not have had any ending actually. Or you want to say something about Yennefer and then you go, wait, but maybe Geralt is not with Yennefer. So it's like on daily basis we have to deal with that a lot. But on the other hand, it's not that difficult. We have, a lot of spreadsheets, we have people taking care of that and making sure that we have a lot of testers, obviously, who are also very dedicated to finding all those silly mistakes that we make. But also when you write dialogues normally, the way that we do, and you have all those choice hubs, then you also have to branch all the time, and you have to keep in mind that the player might actually have gone the other way than you're thinking of because they chose some other option that you thought was probably nobody's going to pick it, but you always have to remember that some people might. So it's tricky, but it's something that I really love about my job. I just love doing those little blocks in the editor and just taking the line through them.
I think that's the fun part. Again, I'm not a story writer. I just cannot imagine how much information you have to have in your head all the time. But I think that's the cool part about that. The story is impactful. And to your point, if I did not do this, my story is going to be different.
Exactly.
But there's so many hooks and ideas to be able to elevate that, and I think you guys are doing a great job to maybe having those different endings, different branching, different story to tell. It's amazing. It's amazing.
So maybe let's throw one more, because you already touched upon this with the Druid's Forest. Was there something else that you wanted to include, plot-wise or mechanic-wise, that you couldn't because of the limitations or no time?
If I can speak on my experience from that production, it's always the case that we're trying to find a balance. We always go far too far, and then we have to scope down. It's always the case. We have something called ambition, I guess.
Yes.
Which is great. But yeah, we always go, so the Bouclair, I think I would find some old images of Bouclair was actually nice. So we had to scope it down because production reasons, but also maybe it was not that much fun. It's finding the balance. That's I think the part of it where when we build this whole world, and again, insanely big world, there's always the question is like, how we can make this world to be on time and fun. Of course, I would say first on fun, then on time, but it's always that struggle. But I don't have a fond memory of like something was specifically cut. The one thing that I can always recall as a cool experience, at that time it's frustrating though, but was of course part of the process is, we're trying to find a place location in Beauclair. For now it's ended up to be Mandagora, but I remember like we did this quest like 4 or 5 times from scratch. But it was always the case, right? This ambitious, we're trying to find, it doesn't work, what we can do better, why it doesn't work, what we can improve. So that's the part of the process. I don't think you have to cut anything that was very meaningful to me because I put those catacombs there. Yep. That will be part that will be sad about. That will be my sad part about this. Yeah.
And forest.
But even if I can just chime in also on the Easter egg part because it kind of comes to the content itself. Outside of this one famous one that we have this picture of the team on the Mandragora Mountain, which was, I think, I love those Easter eggs that we include the whole team as a celebration to the whole world. And also I remember one day at the office, someone told me that there's a cemetery. Someone. And I heard like they're gathering people to be on that tombstones. I'm like, I want to be on tombstone. And I told Marchewka, our lead writer at the time, like, Tomek, please put me on a tombstone. So we have I don't know who's there with me, but we have a huge, by the catacombs, there's a huge open cemetery, and you go to every single tombstone, that's the developers' names, twisted to have this French Italian name. And Tomek put like a very cool small anecdote when we built something. I told him like, I don't have that exact line, but he kind of twisted my sentence in a very funny way of like, don't worry about it, it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna put it here, put it there, like an architect. and he's just amazing, and I'm putting those things together. So Tomek, thank you so much for putting me on the tombstone. It's a pleasure to be right now part of the song.
Yeah, I also remember when Grzesiek Sadziński and Karolina Stachyra reached out to me, like they're looking for people to like pretty much kill. they need dead bodies. And I was like, yeah, I'm game.
Chuck me in.
I'll be dead.
And what's really cool about all those tombstones, there is a personal story behind everyone. So there's like a snippet of really cool detail that, only friends know or like your coworkers.
Correct.
So like when I saw my tombstone, I was still working in the, back then it was called tech support, now it's player experience team. We had like all our team had the tombstones next to each other. I was like, oh, it was like really, really personal message. Like I was like, these guys know me too well, and I'm here only a year.
Yeah.
So it was great. So you guys need to check the graveyards,
every single
and tombstones, so you can get to know us a little bit more.
That's really
Speaking
nice.
of dead people.
Speaking of dead guys.
Speaking of dead
I
guys.
see dead people.
We have vampires in the game. Like Toussaint and all that is one thing, but vampires, Regis.
Yes, and very much a burning question that we're seeing from people in chat right now. He's beloved.
Yeah.
Something that would be really cool to know is how did you approach finding the right way to bring him into the game?
Oh, that's a good story. I was going to mention that because somebody asked about content that was cut. Regis almost didn't make it to the game.
Ooh.
Because, yes, it's
Imagine.
true.
I'm gonna drink for that.
For the longest time when we were developing the story, we already knew that there's going to be vampires. So obviously, naturally, we go to Regis because he's a character from the books. But if you read the books, you might remember that he dies at the end, and it's not like a typical vampire death when you cut the head off and then after some time they regenerate. But Sapkowski made sure to really like kill him really for good. So we thought that, he's dead. We can't use him because that would break the lore. So thanks to Ola Motyka, one of the writers, who was very interested in bringing him in. She would just chime in during our brainstorms, like every half an hour. So how about Regis? Maybe we can use Regis. How about we find a way of putting him there. And finally, Marcin Blacha just gave in, and he said, "Okay, we'll find a way. let's have him because she won't shut up." So,
That's what we call social pressure.
And then we coming up with ways of how could we possibly explain how he got resurrected. We came up with the story of Detlef, that he used his own blood and some vampire magic to bring Regis back. So we owe that to Detlef, but also especially to Ola Mutek.
So you're saying magic can fix everything.
Yes.
Simple as that. Recipe for life.
There we go.
We just need vampires in our lives, really.
That's it. Simple as that.
All you need is a dead laugh.
Yeah.
And some
Well,
magic.
I guess even on this, on Detlef, how did you sort of go through the process of deciding what kind of antagonist he was going to be for the player to have to interact with?
We knew that he's going to be layered because we have Regis, who is a vampire. He can be very dangerous, but he's also friendly. Like, he's one of Geralt's best friends. So if we wanted to introduce another vampire, we couldn't just make him like evil, you know, like totally without any morality, without humanity, because then we wouldn't be able to make this connection between Regis and Detlef. Like, they are not exactly, but they are the same species. If we went with Detlef just being your ordinary antagonist that you just want to kill. So we decided that, okay, there is some humanity to him as well. There's some depth. He's a tragic character. I wouldn't call him a hero, obviously, but there's a tragedy to him. And I would go as far as saying that he's pretty much a victim of circumstance, because in another like scenario, he might be friends with Geralt, just like Regis is. So, yeah. But he was antagonized because of the story that we put him in. So I think those kind of characters are the best, because there are layers and layers to them.
I think to add on point of that, I think that for me, even as a gamer or someone who has experienced that story, the fact that, you know, you believe and you understand his motivation behind why he does that makes him so much more believable. You can, of course, argue how crazy he was, you know, putting all the vampires to destroy Beauclerc, clearly. But at least you know why he's doing this. He's doing this because he fell for a girl, and he's just, you know, being used. And it just brings that believability to the character, and you understand that it's tragic. Yes, maybe he's doing something really in our code wrong, but you understand why he's doing this. It was great. I think it was great. And also I have to do a small shout out here.
Yes.
So probably also not many people know about this, but Detlef the name is based from a real name of our friend, our concept artist, Marta Detlef, which of course, huge shout out, Marta, to you. Marta Detlef was also a character designer. She was designing this character, and I believe the team picked up the name because it landed well in the story and narrative.
It has that.
It sounds right.
So Marta, you sound good.
You sound really good. And speaking of Detlef,
Yes.
we're wearing new t-shirts. You guys will be able to get those t-shirts. They are Detlef t-shirts from our gear store soon. They're like almost there. So if you want to represent Detlef, our colleague and the vampire in the game, you know, there will be a chance. And I know, and I can see Sebastian is
Mid-fight.
killing him mid-fight, so he's trying his best. How was it to design that horribly difficult fight? I don't remember how many times he died, but it was very difficult for me.
So I haven't been part of that, so all the credit goes to the gameplay, narrative, animation, and all the crazy talented people that were designing this. However, I do understand and believe that the whole part of this was to create this very much layered approach to him, that he has this depth, that he is this very old vampire that's seen all of it. He's not like just some low-key vampire. He is the guy, and he just will not stop before, you know, getting what he wants. And I think seeing that every single stage you see him transform, like right now we're like almost at the end of the fight, the whole environment and himself changes to be more and more terrifying. I think the final form is like flying vampire, so it's pretty scary. But it was also to make this very cool promise of, you actually don't know him. You don't know what's underneath his layers. You kind of feel like you know him, but maybe not.
But you don't.
And I think that was the whole narrative, if I'm not mistaken here behind it as well.
And also, it has a lot to do with blood, like you can see on the screen, blood magic. So we have all those really horror. Like I forgot that it's so.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really creepy. Yeah.
I think it's really cool that the teams, even though you're working on different projects, right? Like he as a character is so layered and complex. And then this fight is equally as layered and complex. So you're sort of going through his motivations that you understand on this side. And then you're also having this like wild fight that's going through these layers the same way. I think it's like a really beautiful artistic approach.
It also does a story on the character and also makes him to be, again, very interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Because you never know what's going to happen. And of course, at the end, it's also this choice whether or not, you never know what's the next. But again, going back to what I said before, for me personally, when I played the game and I understood why he's doing this, it was not that easy to fight him because I can't understand. And trying to put myself in this position, I don't know. Maybe if I would be a crazy vampire, maybe I would do the same. You never know. But it kind of brings you to the character much more.
Shall we look into the chat? Because I could see questions.
Burning questions.
Coming. So I think let's maybe lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's been a bit dark.
It's heavy.
Yeah. Who came up with the idea of Goodness Gracious Great Balls of Granite Quest? It was hilarious quest.
I know who wrote it. It was Tomek Marchewka, who you
course was
mentioned
Tomek
already,
Marchewka,
but
yeah.
whose idea it was. Maybe it was him. It was his.
Pretty much, I can imagine
Could be.
it was him, yeah.
Let's say it was Tomek.
Tomek, you've got a reputation.
It was great quest.
It was such a
great
fun quest.
Okay, and I think we have one question for Magda. Geralt arrived in Toussaint on a mission involving the beast. He had to navigate carefully among both aristocracy and the vampires, keeping the fate of the duchy in mind. Could you discuss the methods or techniques used to make the player responsible for well-being of duchy or the individual fates of people?
That's a very good question. I think one of the ways, and we always try to get the players involved and put them really in the shoes of Geralt, is making decisions. Like if you are presented with a choice what to do, first we present the situation, the characters. Like we already said, each of them has their own reasons why they did what they did, because Detlef was manipulated by Sienna, but also something awful happened to her, so she was justified in seeking revenge and so on. So first we present the situation, the characters, and then you have to make a decision. And the moment that you're put in those shoes where you have to make a choice, this is when things actually start to matter to you personally as a player, because it's Geralt's choice, but obviously it's your choice as a player to go this way or that, or to say this thing without knowing what consequences it might bring. So, so this is how you do it.
Super interesting. I guess also as a change up and starting to move on to some of the other sort of really well-loved characters that we meet in the journey, Anna Henrietta is really different. And in particular from other rulers that we see in the Witcher universe, what sort of defined her as a character for you in this process of building her?
I really love that character. I think that she's very layered. She's on the surface, she's very volatile, she's very stubborn. Sometimes she can be silly, like she can be, you look at her and you wonder, how come this whole kingdom doesn't fall apart under such a ruler? And actually it doesn't, it all works. Her subjects love her, actually. It's prosperous, it's beautiful, it's peaceful, where everywhere else it's torn by war, and here it's just this peaceful land. So she's doing something right, but you have no idea how. So it works very well. And again, there's this duality, like this shouldn't work, but somehow it does. So yeah, and I think even though she can be like volatile and so on, she's still, deep down, she's a good person and she really cares about her subjects. And even though she might make some silly decisions, deep down, like people can recognize that this want of hers to make things right for them. So I think this is why it works. But
Makes sense. You can't stop staring at Geralt at White Horse.
I was
In
about to
his
say-
armor.
I was about to say we're going to the most crazy part, which I loved so
It's so
much.
good.
Yeah, this fantasy
It's
world.
so
just-
beautiful.
And such a cool, also such a great collab in tying those stories that we all know, but set in a very our own twisted way that
Yes.
fits
Yeah.
the lore. But we all know, like, we know the towers, we know the, beings growing to the sky. We all know those stories, but they just click differently here. Great,
Yeah.
great stuff.
Absolutely. What's your favorite part when it comes to the fairy tale part of the Blood and Wine?
I think just the fact that, like you, Kacper, said, that it's twisted now. The fact why it's twisted is because it was created for the two sisters when they were small children for them to play in, but now they've grown. So everything changed for them, like in their psyche, their development, and especially Sienna went through some horrible stuff. So the land that was based on their imaginations also kind of grew and got twisted. And you have this girl selling matches, as she's now peddling Fistek, because it's a grown-up story set in this very silly land. So yeah, this is my favorite part of it.
Speaking of city lands and city things, we actually just got really cool questions. I want to interrupt you guys.
Just pink horses, unicorns, horses. Yeah.
I mean, we have Laura. She's like all
If they're
horsey.
unicorns, I'm in.
Yeah.
There's
How
one.
do you write all those silly little things like NPCs chatter? How do you write those things?
Oh, you just write. I mean, just writing them is not the difficult part. The difficult part is getting them through the review process. Through all the directors who look at it like for the 11th time while playing the game, and it stops being funny if you look at it too many times. And then it's like, is it too much? Is it too silly? Is it still The Witcher? So those decisions may very easily just get rid of those lines because people think that they're not funny anymore. Even you as a creator stop thinking that it was a good joke like 2 months ago, but now it's just horrible.
Not anymore.
Let's get rid of it. So actually getting them through and getting them recorded and putting them finally in the game, this is a success. And this was all possible because I think it was a great set of like the time that we were developing it was just right for it because we knew that The Witcher 3 was a success when we were developing this. So it was like the atmosphere was so laid back. It was just like Toussaint. We were just having fun and everything was beautiful, everything was relaxed. So I think the silly stuff that is so densely packed, especially in this expansion, is partly because of that relaxed atmosphere that we had.
That's a great point. I think that's also something to point out why, again, for me at least, Blood and Wine was such a fun process, fun time. From developer perspective, when you have the tech, you know how to build the game, you know what build you're making, or game you're making rather, and then you just put stories on top. It's just so much easier because you know what you're doing, you know how to do it, you went for it, and it just makes the whole process to be so different. Of course, I haven't got a chance to work on Hearts of Stone because I was stuck with this one. So I don't know how people react with Hearts of Stones, which I, by the way, love this expansion also. And it was fun because I never worked on this. I had this experience, the story from day one. It was great. But yeah, but expansion pack like Blood and Wine, we knew how to use the engine, what the game working, what the Geralt story would be. It was just such a smooth sail. And to your point, because that, we felt much more comfortable with crazy ideas.
Exactly.
And we were like pushing those ideas, like this, for example, quest, right? It's like vampires and fairy tales. This is exactly what it is right now. That's the cocktail here. Great stuff.
That's very cool. I'm gonna just ask a question from chat, which was, is there any fairy tale references which you kind of had as an idea and didn't make it into the final game? There's a comment here, R.I.P. Thumbelina.
Oh yeah, she's somewhere there but dead. Do you remember? Yeah, exactly. So we put everything that came to our mind. We were actually looking for more ideas, like especially with this part, like give us more. What other fairy tales can we squeeze? Because it was just so easy to do, because it's enough to just hint at something. Everybody knows those stories so well that it's enough to show a little bit of something, and you know, okay, it's that one. So yeah, so I think anything that came to our minds actually made it to the game somewhere.
It's really cool.
I mean, we could go on and go on with so many questions. So we're gonna leave the chat for now. We do have 3 more questions for you guys. Paweł Sasko called it cursed.
Of course, Paweł Sasko called it cursed.
Okay, I needed.
Whatever this is.
we have something prepared for you, which is the infamous REDstreams Google autofill board.
Okay.
We picked 3 top questions that we could find. So maybe let's go.
Yeah. So the first one is Blood and Wine worth it?
Obviously. I mean, worth what? It's worth everything. It's worth your money. It's worth your time, definitely, to play it. Yeah.
Amazing. All right, question number 2.
Well said.
Is Blood and Wine a DLC or an expansion?
Oh, tricky one. I think it's a tricky one. So here's my personal take.
Okay.
But I think it's aligned with all our takes. It's definitely an expansion pack, right? The distinction that we always were thinking about when we start working on both Hearts of Stone, Blood and Wine, and of course Phantom Liberty, we always treat those as almost like a separate games in terms of like how much story and narrative impact we want to give the players, right? Sure, it's the same engine, it's the same base, but we really want to make a new adventure. I would like to think always that, you know, this could be sold as a separate game. That's always our go-to. And when we say DLC in our case, it's like, you know, you can download a couple of armors, some swords and potions here and there, and they're usually for free. But we always keep to this, it should be the same experience as our main game. That's the expansion in our head.
Exactly, and especially with this one, I mean, like literally the map is expanded by this huge region, so it's an expansion.
And also, maybe you're going to call out something, hopefully not too controversial. But I know that sometimes there are rumors saying like, oh, they had this and they cut it and they're just going to add more. It's never the case. Like, we never did that. Of course, we're thinking what we can do to expand the story if the game is successful, but we never have something, cut it away and cook later. It's never the case. And I think that's also the power behind this, that we really put a lot of passion and love into the expansion packs, because we do think about them as those kind of like main stories to tell, just a bit later. Yeah.
Expanding the story.
Precisely, that's a good way of putting this.
In the name.
It's in the name, correct.
Okay, and we have one last one. Okay, so is Blood and Wine the last expansion?
Ooh.
Well. That was a bit spooky.
It was pretty creepy, yeah.
That was a bit spooky. So as you guys know, and you know, you saw it online yesterday, but if you haven't, pay attention, because yes, we are officially working on the 3rd expansion. It's called Songs of the Past. We're co-developing that with our friends from Fool's Theory. It's releasing next year, 2027, and it's coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and PCs.
Now, we know that you have so many questions. Yesterday, we were really flooded with them, and we appreciate it immensely. We're not going to go into too much of it right now, because we want to share more with you when the time is right, and you are going to hear more in late summer. But for now, we wanted to answer some of the more pressing questions that have come up for us.
So the first question would be, are you still releasing cross-platform mod support for The Witcher 3?
And happy to say, really easy answer for us. The answer is yes. We are still working away on it. We don't have anything to share with you today, but rest assured, it is coming.
It is coming. So, second question.
Yes.
What is Songs of the Past about?
Okay, so we won't give too much away right now again, because we want you to experience it when you play. But as a few eagle-eyed people have already seen over the last 24 hours, there are some hints for you waiting on a very important evening in Witcherlore, Belleton Night, in our Belleton celebration that we shared a few weeks ago. So keep looking for clues.
Maybe they missed something. Who knows? Question number 3.
Okay.
How big the Songs of the Past?
Okay. So Songs of the Past will be aligned with what you're familiar with Blood and Wine, and what you've come to experience and expect from us when we do our expansions.
So it's expansion pack.
It's an expansion. Let's be clear.
You know, I just want to shout out that as a person not working on this, I'm super excited. I just can't wait. And of course, it's very exciting to see how, again, after all these years, it's still this much love and passion for Geralt and the world. It's just insane. So great job. Can't wait.
For sure. I am going to hit Amelia with a couple of questions now that, again, pressing in the community. Amelia, will there be new Gwent cards in Songs of the Past?
Is Pavel Burza here? Ryan Skull here?
And he's not down there.
I mean, guys, Witcher 3 equals Gwent. More Gwent coming. Simple as that.
Yay!
More Gwent.
And more Pavel, I guess.
We'll see if he's up for more Gwent.
And another thing that came up quite a bit yesterday, which was cool, was why does Geralt have 3 swords?
So yes, Geralt is holding a sword. It is a very important sword for the story, and you will get to know it once the game is out. So just, you know, few more
Cycles.
few more streams before that when you guys reveal it.
Awesome. So, I think once again, to everybody, thank you so much for all of the messages. We truly have been noting down all of the questions that have been coming through. A lot of them, we're not going to spoil anything just yet. So please stay tuned until late summer when we will share more. But I guess on this note, that's kind of it for us for today. So Kacper, Magda, do you have final words for our 10th anniversary of Blood and Wine?
I would just like to say thank you for having me here because, like I mentioned, I'm always, just scribbling away and doing blocks on the screen, and it's so easy to forget who are you actually making all this for. So it's so nice to have the questions because it's so important to remember that what you're doing is actually for the people and somebody is going to enjoy it, because it gives me so much energy to keep working. So thank you.
Thank you.
Same for me. Thank you so much for inviting me here. I've been away from the Witcher's world for a bit, so it was really nice to get back here, even for this small, brief moment. Thank you, Maj and the crew, for working on the new stories to tell in this universe. It's great. And for me, it was just insane to kind of get back to Toussaint for even a couple of minutes. I feel like I'm gonna have to find some time to play the game again. Yeah, it was great. And of course, a huge shout out to the whole crew that worked on the Witcher 3 and Blood and Wine, and now the crew that is making the new stories for us, which is, again, great. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So, while we don't have anything new to show you guys for Songs of the Past, when we leave you today, we want to give you a taste of one of the tracks that you will be hearing when you play Songs of the Past. And Amelia, do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, and as we already said, more information about Songs of the Past will be coming the late summer, and you will be seeing more of the expansion at Gamescom this year, at the entertainment area. So if you don't have plans, now you do. All right, so
Absolutely.
we're done here, guys. So thank you very much for
Thank you
being
so much.
today with us.
Cheers.
Let's toast
Cheers
for the
to 10 years, guys.
10 years. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.